Well, first, I'd really like to thank the community for coming out here because we know that you all have jobs and you all have families. So I heard each and every one of you. As you could tell, we only had one person supporting this proposed change. And I wondered, who was the driving force behind this? Was it the community? And I'll say it's not. So I would like to thank all of you. I'm going to read my comments, although they are repetitive of some of what you have said. I'll tell you, City Manager, we do need to do better with communication. If it wasn't for Pastor Jack, Chris Barrera, Pastor Smith, some of these folks would not have been advised. I don't know if we need to, every time we have a proposed ordinance, even if it's something we don't want people to know because maybe it's not in our favor, we need to be issuing that press release. This is coming up. We need to include the stakeholders. I really commend those who helped get the word out and those who attended. I'm going to go ahead and go. Some of my questions have already been answered, but I spoke to a lot of District 5 residents across Salinas. Ron emailed and said, I'd encourage a no vote on the change. He typically engages the public at his job and encounters drivers that have a strong odor of cannabis. Tom says, I do not support the increase of local dispensaries from 5 to as many as 8. Neil Patel, a board member and a teacher, says, I ask you to think of the youth who already have a tremendous amount of challenges and issues that they're dealing with. Ask yourself if more marijuana dispensaries in Salinas on top of the other ones we have is a good idea. Anna Rocha emailed us and said, I do not agree with this, and I don't see why we need to add more dispensaries. Amanda, an RN, said, it's my opinion that the ordinance should remain the same as currently written. Colleen, it's my opinion that the ordinance should remain the same. Ms. Bennett, do not add any more places in Salinas to purchase cannabis. Ms. Bennett, Ms. Don Kaufman, and others agreed. I just want to, like I said, this is a little bit of a moot point because it looks like the direction of the council is listening to the community. But I just want to give you some numbers to echo Councilmember McShane and Rocha's position that enough is enough talking about cannabis. Like, really, we have other issues to deal with. In 2021, we had $2 million in tax revenue. 2022, $1.5 million. This year, $800,000. It's a declining industry. And although, as a father of 4, I don't want more cannabis around my kids. I don't want them around our students. But I try to be impartial and listen to different opinions. So I did. For the first time in my life, contacted some dispensaries today. And believe it or not, just like the young lady who was here who said she's getting a cutback in her hours, that was the concern, is that they've already had to reduce their hours. So why are we going to, an industry we created, going to hurt them even more, even though I don't agree with the industry? We've heard from RNs, pastors, neighbors, the dispensaries, some of the workers. I called the superintendents of the school districts here in Salinas who are affected, who deal with cannabis on their campuses. Look, I didn't know something. I'm not very familiar with cannabis, I'll be honest. My brother shared with me that there's the shoulder tap method, which refers to, you could tap on somebody close to a dispensary or a alcohol place and ask them to buy it for you. We just need to do our best to protect our kids. I'm also concerned that we're not fulfilling our obligations under the current ordinance. I know we've had some staffing changes, but I read what we promised the community in the past, and although our city attorneys, we're going to address some of these deficiencies, like I said, I know a lot of this is redundant, but for our cruising ordinance, we had community meeting, free food, videos, purport changes, but for this, cannabis, nada? We need to do better. So I'm happy to support this. I do want to share something that one of the dispensary folks said to me. She says, this is like being, having a race to the bottom. There's already an oversaturation, and it's already hard to deal with this market, and mom and pop shops are shutting down, so any changes like this are just affected. So enough with cannabis, and I'd even be a fan of disbanding the cannabis subcommittee. Sorry, I'm not sorry, that is my opinion. Everyone else is entitled to their opinion. Well, there we go.
Is that a friendly amendment?
Yeah, I'll make that friendly amendment. Let's end the discussion on cannabis and end our subcommittee. Friendly amendment.
Okay with that.
All right, so the substitute motion is in place, which was made by Councilmember Osornio, seconded by Councilmember Sandoval, with a friendly amendment to disband the cannabis subcommittee. All right, call for the vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Yes. Councilmember McShane? Yes. Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, we'll go on to item 657. Can I ask that we refrain from clapping, please? We got a meeting to run. Thank you, though. I appreciate your enthusiasm, and thank you for coming out today. We'll go on to ID 657, the agreement for